I call this meeting of the Pasadena Independent School District Board of Trustees in regular session on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024, in the boardroom of the Administration Building, 3920 Mickey Gilley Boulevard, Pasadena, Texas, at 5:31. Board members present are Mrs. Vicki Morgan, Ms. Nella Sullivan, Ms. Crystal Davila, Mr. Kenny Fernandez, and myself, Marshall Kendrick. Casey Phelan is absent. Let the record indicate that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting is duly called, and that notice of this meeting was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The invocation will be given by Mrs. Sullivan and the pledges by Ms. Davila.
Please join me in prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for the many blessings that You bestow upon us each and every day. We thank You for our district and for the leadership, and we ask that You would be with us as we discuss the business of the district. Dear Father, we pray that You would be with those who protect the freedoms of our country. We pray that You would be with those who provide the service to take care of us as individuals. We pray that You would lead and guide and direct us in every aspect of our board decisions. Keep us ever near to Thee. Forgive us where we failed Thee. These things we ask in Thy name. Amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
There are no public comments tonight. Budget workshop. Mr. Ben Poppy.
So as he's coming up, board members, as you remember, the last time we discussed budget, it was not pretty. We had a deficit around 37 million, which we all knew was not going to work. This is modeled using no salary increase. Of course, we were trying to right-size staffing ratios, which helped us identify about 150 possible positions that we were going to reduce through normal attrition. In other words, no people, but just the position itself. Because as you know, the federal dollars that have been helping us so greatly these last couple of years will expire this September, and those are the federal ESSER funds. Also, the district is able or eligible to levy 1.22 disaster pennies in response to the tornado we suffered in January of 2023. So we discussed that opportunity. That would generate about $2.3 million in additional revenue. The Budget Committee has also identified what I call cost avoidance. Everybody gets tired of hearing cost cutting, so cost avoidance measures during the last couple of months, and we'll continue to look for those as well as additional revenue opportunities so that we can get to our adoption of a budget that we can all live with in August. As discussed last month, we've explored the possibility of changing our fiscal year to July 1, which many districts have done. Currently, our fiscal year begins September 1. The change to the July 1 would allow campuses and departments to access their budget much earlier, which is a positive. As we shared that information with principals, that was definitely received well by each of them prior to the start of the school. So that would also help us align with the majority of federal programs and the way they do budgets and their way they lay out their fiscal year. It would also benefit the district due to reducing 2 months of operational expenditures. So it's kind of like the one and only time you can pull that rabbit out of your pocket, because once you've done it, the rabbit is gone. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Poppy?
Correct.
As far as expenses in the budget, you're going to see that we reduced all the way across the board department budgets by 3% to help with budgeting, but we're prepared to answer questions after Mr. Poppy gives an overview of the two budgets you have in front of you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Powell. Good evening, Board of Trustees. Thanks for the oversight and overview of going over the key elements of the 24-25 draft budget. This is the second time we're coming to the board, and we'll continue to come to the board up until adoption in August. In front of you, you do have two budgets. You have a budget that has a deficit of $37 million, and then you have on the other side of that same page another budget is if we change the fiscal year from September 1st to July 1st, and that has a budget deficit of $6.8 million. And then you do have another 10 pages that kind of goes into a little bit more of the meat of the budget, a little bit line by line on budgets. As Dr. Powell did talk about, we did reduce the department budgets 3%. There were no budget cuts at the campus level. So in talking about the change of the fiscal year from September 1st to July 1st, like Dr. Powell talked about, it would benefit the district. It would align the majority of our federal programs with our fiscal year, and it would allow the campuses and the departments to have access to their budget in early July. It would also help with reducing the 2 months where you have 12 months of revenue and just 10 months of expenditures. Another impact is the district would need to start the budget process sooner each year. And so we would be estimating more on property values earlier during the budget process, but that's something that a lot of districts already do, and majority of the districts in Region 4 actually have a July 1st fiscal year. And so we have additional information for what districts have already moved to July 1st as well. And then we also are looking at working with the state legislatures and the Commissioner of Education, trying to have them recognize 50% of what we lose on the local option homestead exemption. And that would just allow us to use the T4 value for revenue instead of the T2 value. So we continue to get updates with our consultants on that as well. So we're trying to maximize as much revenue as we can, and then looking at, as Dr. Powell talks about, cost avoidance. So pending any questions on the budgets, we're here to answer any questions.
Do we know what surrounding districts are doing right now?
Or budget or raises or what topic?
Both.
Okay, so Bobby has been keeping a spreadsheet. Very few districts have shown their cards on raises yet, but some have. Cy-Fair just recently. Do you want to read out some of the ones we know, or
Yes,
do you have
yes.
them there in front of
Yeah.
you?
So Cy-Fair, I think just yesterday, is doing a 2% for teachers and para hourly staff, and a 1% pay raise for all other staff. Galena Park is modeling a 2%, and none of this is board approved. This is just what they're discussing.
I understand.
Most of them are 2%.
Sheldon's higher. It's at 3.5.
Sheldon's at 3.5%.
And Willis just gave a flat rate of $1,500, I read in the
Okay.
news.
And a lot of this, if not all of this, is being paid for out of their fund balance. What we're hearing from districts, because they're all running deficit budgets.
Yes. Yeah, that seems to be the trend this 24-25 school year, is most districts, even with a salary pay raise, they're using it through reducing cuts elsewhere, or they're just straight up using fund balance. Make
I
it work.
appreciate that. I was curious. I knew it was early in the process, but I knew that also districts are out there talking about what they're going to do. Do we know anything about Deer Park?
So this is probably a wild year for Deer Park community, because they're going to run a first deficit budget that they've ever had. But they are talking or modeling, not sure if they're sharing, but at least a 2% raise.
Will the Harris County Appraisal District, will changing to the July have any effect on the appraisal values in our school district? Will we get that information on a timely basis?
We'll get the certified estimates and the certified values at the same time as we always do. There'll be no impact. It's just we have to move forward with budget sooner with the information that we have at hand to be able to adopt in June instead of August.
So the budget you have in front of you, the 37 millions without changing the calendar, the 6.8 million deficit is with changing the calendar, but just a reminder, neither of these have any kind of pay raise or stipend in them at this time. Nothing is modeled in there for us.
Right.
I'm a little slow. Go back again, Ben, and kind of explain how you go from 32 million to 6.
So when you change your fiscal year, you're moving from 1 September to 1 July. So in that 1 year, that transition year, You do recognize and realize all 12 months of revenue that you collect locally and with the state funds, but you're only recognizing 10 months of activity since the fiscal year is going to end June 30th. So there's about 2 months of payroll and department and campus budgets that you're not actually going to spend during those 2 months. So it allows you as a one-time lump sum to increase fund balance or to assist with that year's budget.
Aren't spending it,
You're shifting. It's a timing thing. Next year will be a new budget that has 12 months of revenue and 12 months of expenditures that year.
and that's gonna.
We'll continue to look at,
Money, that, which is,
we'll,
to get the state to.
exactly, we'll continue to look at cost avoidance measures and look at ways that we can align district staff over the next year, and then monitor what the state does as well in the spring, and continue to build that budget next year in preparation for 25-26 to be in line.
Because we've prepared financially through building up our fund balance. We've almost doubled it since I've been superintendent. But that was a good thing because now we're sitting in these hard times and we're having to look at deficit budgets like you've been brave enough to do in the past. Sometimes, as we showed y'all last month, even though you approved a deficit budget, thanks to payroll perhaps being unspent or other cost-saving or revenue-gaining opportunities, you haven't realized a deficit budget. Even though you've approved one, you perhaps put money back in fund balance those very same years. So we've been blessed that we're better prepared than others. But yes, if the state doesn't step up, there's not a public school in Texas that's not going to lose programs and hurt kids.
And that's not going to happen until the governor gets his way with vouchers, unfortunately.
Well, all it takes is another vote, it seems like now, to get it passed. That is, legislature's in line.
What school districts have changed their?
Most have done it prior to put that money in fund balance or have that savings, but you can tell her some of the districts that are there. Most Region 4 districts have already pulled this rabbit out of the hat in previous years. So who do you have there?
Yeah, so just districts that have already done it, not recently, but are already a 1 July fiscal year, just alphabetically: Aldine ISD, A-Leaf ISD, Alvin ISD, Crosby ISD, Deer Park ISD, Fort Bend ISD, Goose Creek CISD, Houston ISD, Humboldt ISD, LaPorte ISD, Pearland ISD, Sheldon ISD, and Spring Branch. I don't know that, but just looking at some of the years when they did it, there were some in 2010, 11, and 12, which was another very tough time for public education financially as well.
We have an additional.
Prepare. Yes, sir.
We also have additional year to get Abbott turning loose some money. He's got to sooner or later.
Pressure surely is building.
Hope so.
Well, if you got,
I'm kidding.
if you got a letter from Rick Perry this week, you understand.
Any other questions
Regarding
at
the
this time
budget.
regarding the budget? Yes.
Regarding the budget.
Get your crystal ball out, right?
You're doing a good job.
Oh, yes,
Thank you.
definitely.
Thank you.
We're very fortunate to have Mr. Poppy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay. We have adjournment to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551074 for the purpose, wait a minute, okay, I'm okay. For the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear complaints of charges against a public officer or employee, unless the individual who is the subject of deliberation of hearing request a public hearing concerning matters related to the superintendent's recommendation to hire administrative personnel and/or the superintendent's recommendation related to renewals, non-renewals, and termination of contract for professional personnel, 551.071 and 551.074, for the purpose of considering the evaluation of the superintendent and any amendments to the superintendent's contract and related actions. 55.071, to consult with district attorneys to consider matters on which the attorney's duty to the district under the Code of Professional Responsibility clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meeting Act, to seek the advice of its attorneys about pending contemplated litigation or a settlement offer, or to consider legal advice regarding items specifically listed on the agenda. 55.1.072, for the purpose of discussing the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. We will reconvene at 7 o'clock.
I'm playing.
We're going to reconvene in open session.
Volume up. We need to get the volume up. Looking for
Can
a
you hear me?
sound booth. Not yet.
Okay.
Here comes Eric. He must have had to go pee-pee too. Like me.
I'm glad they got you on TV doing that.
Now it's working. Is it working now?
It's better.
Okay.
I don't know
We're
that
going to
it's on.
reconvene in open session. First thing we have now is special recognition.
And the time, Mr. President, that you have? The time?
7:07.
What time is it?
7:07.
I believe it's 7:07, Mr. President.
Okay. 7:07 will do. Sorry, we're a little late.
Board members, I'm excited to share with you. We have a couple of special recognitions tonight. We got lots of parents and community members here, so we're excited for their presence as well. I want to introduce to you Scott Blank from Robba Kistner Incorporated. He's the Director of Business Development with a focus on the education market. Scott was a teacher and a coach for 11 years before joining Robba Kistner 5 years ago. This is a company that's an industry leader among engineering consulting firms and is a valued partner in the district. And he has worked with the Education Foundation as well and the Facilities and Construction Department, as you can imagine. So thank you for being here, Mr. Blank, and I hear you have an exciting presentation.
Yes, ma'am. We work with several school districts throughout the Houston area. It just happened that Pasadena ISD was one of our finalists. And so we actually have a charity foundation and event with sporting clays that happens every year. It just happens that, Michelle LeBlue, who is one of the directors of special education, my wife, who had been teacher and coach for 25 years, and her had been an adaptive teaching field and helping PE students. So what we did was we recognized that Special Olympics doesn't always get some of the attention. So we have a charity event where we want to improve their equipment, just get the most potential out of students and kids at that level. So just like any other coach, we're always trying to maximize the potential of any athlete. So we're proud to present $10,000 to Pasadena Education Foundation.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is going to go to good use for a great group of students. And now we have another great group of students to talk about, board members. We're excited to recognize this year's Vanguard Community Service Award recipients. As you know, the Vanguard Award was created years ago to honor those high school seniors who have dedicated hours of volunteer work to our community. Collectively, these students have earned 9,362 community service hours. Whether they you can clap for that. That's a lot of hours. They volunteered their time, their action, and of course their talents. They made a huge positive impact on this community, and we're thankful for each and every one of them. So we have a short video, which we call The Marvels in the Community, and it of course encompasses our theme this year. So take it away, Colton. We got a sound glitch. We're going to try one more time. Try it again. Yay!
What does it mean to be a hero? You don't need a cape or the ability to fly, super strength,
X-ray vision.
or bow and arrow.
The qualities that describe a hero
Are the ones that cannot be seen. It's the desire to serve, to be a viable, and help build a stronger community. Fight to make a difference for those
true hero steps up and takes action.
when no one else will. Anyone can be a hero.
You too can be a hero.
Together, we can all make a positive impact on our community,
Maybe even
the world. We are marvels in the community.
So now we're going to kick this off with our 2024 Vanguard students from their respective high schools. I'll bring forward Deronda Preston from Dobie High School to start with our recipients. Thank you.
I am so honored to present this year's Vanguard honorees from Dobie High School. Daniela Garza. Volleyball concessions and Appelsion Children's Center. Daniela plans to further her education at the University of Houston and earn a bachelor's degree in business. Haley Cortez. Haley collected several volunteer hours from working with various clubs, organizations, and events across the Pasadena and South Belt area. She has assisted the South Belt Leader, San Jacinto Memorial Illumination, Tweens Read, the McDonald's Texas Invitational, Yearbook, Key Club, UIL Choir, Random's Acts of Christmas, and Student Council. Haley plans to continue her studies at San Jacinto College, majoring in photography. Sam has volunteered for several Dobie High School clubs and organizations such as Health Occupation Students of America, National Technical Honor Society, Key Club, and Student Council. Sam plans to keep volunteering in the future and aims to earn a degree in dentistry upon her graduation. Juan spent most of his time volunteering for Key Club, Health Occupation Students of America, and his school's Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America organization. Quan plans to attend the University of Houston to pursue a bachelor's degree in biology. Michael Montano. Michael volunteered at St. Luke's Catholic Church, Park Manor, and Magnolia Crossing nursing homes. Michael plans to attend a 4-year accredited university as a student athlete playing baseball and pursuing his bachelor's degree in business. Congratulations. Now I'd like to turn the mic over to Tammy Geringer, who will present the students from CTHS. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm honored to present the Dr. Kirk Lewis Career and Technical High School 2024 Vanguard recipients. Ashley Hernandez. Ashley served her community by volunteering for organizations such as St. Juan Diego Catholic Church, Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo, Health Occupation Student of America, CTHS National Honor Society and Student Council. Ashley plans on earning a degree in biology and attending dental school specializing in orthodontics. Rena has served various clubs and organizations, including St. Christopher Catholic Church, the Pasadena Strawberry Festival, Pinebrook Neighborhood Community Service Club, the CTHS Criminal Justice Club, National Honor Society, and Teen Community Emergency and Response Team. Rena will enroll at the University of Houston to pursue a degree in business and then apply to law school to become a transactional attorney. Rodriguez. Jasmine is one of our veterinary tech students and volunteered much of her time with the Fairmont Pet Hospital and Pasadena Animal Shelter. She also volunteered with the CTHS Student Council, Future Farmers of America, and the Community Service Club. Jasmine plans to attend UT San Antonio and become a nurse. No. On gave back while volunteering for several Pasadena community events and organizations, including Pasadena Livestock Show and Rodeo. He also spent time with the South Belt Elementary Chess Club, teaching students how to play chess and helping them with tournaments. In addition, On volunteered with various CTHS organizations and the Community Service Club. On is currently undecided on his future alma mater, but has a passion for pre-dentistry and is keeping his options open. Tina volunteered for several organizations and events, including the Strawberry Festival, Houston Food Bank, Vietnamese Martyr Church, CTHS clubs and organizations, and the Asbury Pumpkin Festival. Tina plans to attend the University of Texas at Austin in their pharmacy program. Thank you, CTHS volunteers. Now, Mary Ames with Pasadena High School.
Thank you and good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's Pasadena High School Vanguard Students honorees. Our first honoree is Miss Litzy Smith.
So proud of you.
Litzy has spent her time volunteering at various places such as the Houston Food Bank, keeping Pasadena parks clean, Pasadena High School tutoring, Communities in Schools, Youth Advisory Council, PHS events, nursing homes in our Pasadena community. After graduation, Litzy intends to earn her bachelor's degree in biochemistry and pursue a career in oncology with the University of Houston. Our second honoree, Ms. Gabriella Palomar. Gabriella has served her community while volunteering for Communities in Schools, Youth Advisory Council, the Pasadena High School Health Occupations Students of America organization, also known as HOSA. Gabriella plans to study at San Jacinto College, earning her associate's degree in health care, to ultimately become a certified medical assistant. Noemi Muniz. Noemi has served her community through her volunteer work at the Pasadena Public Library. She plans to attend the University of Texas at Dallas to earn her bachelor's degree in healthcare management, and become a hospital supervisor. Her future endeavors also include earning a second bachelor's degree and our master's in healthcare leadership and management. Isaac Gomez Aguilar. Isaac volunteered for several events, including Pasadena Strawberry Festival, Palabra Miel Church, Early College High School, Pasadena Eagle Alliance Band, Pasadena High School Emerald Pageant, PHS HOSA, PHS Fine Arts, Pasadena ISD Walk Against Suicide, and also Isaac served as an officer for the class of 2024. Upon graduating, he plans to attend one of two, either the University of Texas Austin or Texas State University, pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And a final mention, unable to be in attendance but also honored, is Mr. Lionel Cepeda, our Pasadena honorees.
Hello, I'm excited to present the Vanguard honorees for Pasadena Memorial High School. Samara Olvera. Samara served her community volunteering for South Belt Girls Softball Association, the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, Houston's Pets Alive, the City of Pasadena, Pasadena Little League, and Pasadena Marathon Runs. Samara plans to attend a 4-year accredited university to major in business and marketing with a minor in communications. Alexis Rodriguez volunteered for the Galveston Bay Foundation, the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, San Juan Diego Church, Vex Robotics, the City of Pasadena, Asbury, the Rose Organization, the South Belt Girls Softball Association, and the Swim Coaches Association. Alexis plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in materials science and engineering, aiming to secure a greener future by researching sustainable materials and different ways to establish her environmental fingerprint. Brooks volunteered for several societies, programs, and organizations like Memorial Student Council, National Honor Society, School Safety Ambassador Program, Student Congressional Advisory Committee, National Technical Honor Society, Pasadena ISD Intermediate Cheer, the Pasadena Fill the Bus Initiative, the Birthday for Joy Program, Houston Food Bank, the Harris County Precinct 2 Dance Program, Relay for Life, Toys for Tots, Pasadena Nursing Home Star of Hope, the HEB Thanksgiving Day Parade, and the City of Pasadena Christmas Parade. Hannah intends to enroll at the University of Texas to study biology as she prepares to take on dental school and become an orthodontist. Alexia Satianis volunteered at several donation drives, giving back at intermediate and elementary schools, and serving in Memorial's National Honor Society, Student Council, Future Farmers of America, and Maverick Cheer. She plans to attend Texas A&M and major in animal science to become a veterinarian. Alexia loves animals and intends to open her own animal hospital and rescue center. Betsy Salazar served her community helping at Baker Ripley in Pasadena. She plans to attend the University of Houston to major in civil engineering with a minor in international business studies. Congratulations to this year's PMHS Vanguard students. And now I would like to turn it over to Joshua Castro.
I'm excited to present the Vanguard honorees for, at this time I would like to present Sam Rayburn Vanguard Award recipients. Gustavo Garcia. Gustavo volunteered on several occasions with Sam Rayburn's Army ROTC program. After graduation, Gustavo is excited to attend Texas A&M and plans to join the Army as an officer in the future. Rogelio completed his volunteer hours serving with Sam Rayburn's Army JROTC program. Upon graduation, Rogelio plans to attend the prestigious West Point Military Academy. Nolan Ayala. Nolan has served his community with Sam Rayburn's Army JROTC program throughout the year. Upon graduation, Nolan plans to attend trade school for automotive care and work at Procter & Gamble with his brother. Nicole Gonzalez. Nicole volunteered countless times at Sam Rayburn's school events, the Pasadena Public Library, and summer school. Nicole plans to study at Texas A&M to become a nurse. She then aims to complete her master's degree in the nursing field.
Congratulations, Nicole.
Tylee Martinez. Tylee served her community by volunteering with Rayburn's Army JROTC Academic Decathlon and the Salvation Army. After graduation, she plans to attend the University of Houston to earn a bachelor's in Human Resources and Development. Thank you to all of our Texan Vanguard honorees. We are so proud of you. I would now like to ask Michelle Malvo to come to the microphone.
I am proud to recognize this year's South Houston High School Vanguard recipients. Karina Robledo.
Congratulations, Karina.
Community by volunteering for Harris County Public Library in South Houston, San Juan Diego Catholic Church, and the South Houston High Fun Runs. After graduating from South Houston, Karina intends to enroll at the University of Houston in the business administration field. Rosa Maria Campos. Rosa volunteered for the Houston Food Bank, the South Houston Library, National Honor Society, Asbury Church, and elementary schools such as Red Bluff, South Houston, Young, and Freeman, as well as South Houston High School. Rosa plans on furthering her education at Texas State in accounting with an emphasis in taxes, auditing, and financial information. Brianna Grace Suarez. Brianna volunteered for Health Occupation Students of America, National Technical Honor Society, Student Council, and local sports organizations. After graduation, Brianna plans on attending college and pursuing her passion in the medical field. Rebecca Suhe Alvarez Torres. Rebecca finished the school year volunteering for the City of Pasadena, the South Houston Library, South Houston High School, Early College High School, several Pasadena ISD elementary schools, and various churches. After graduation, Rebecca plans to earn her bachelor's degree in art design from the University of Houston downtown and eventually become a graphic designer. Cheyenne Elizabeth K. Robertson.
I am so proud of you.
Robertson volunteered for the National Honor Society, Girl Scouts, South Houston High School, Pasadena Parks, and partaking in activities such as bench cleanup initiatives, assisting local sports clubs, and helping in nursing homes. As Cheyenne gets closer to the finish line, she plans to obtain her bachelor's degree in engineering. Thank you to our South Houston Vanguard honorees and to all the recipients for your contributions to our community. We would like to ask the parents and families of all of our honorees to please stand up so we may recognize you as well. Dr. Powell.
Thank you, and thank you, parents. We know you have instilled in your children giving back to the community, and we want to say thank you. Lots of pride here today, lots of amazing accomplishments. We also want to thank or highlight our community sponsors, Chevron Pasadena Refinery, Raising Cane's, and the Pasadena ISD Education Foundation. They showed some love to these students this evening in lots of ways, so we want to recognize the importance of giving back, but also for the community recognizing that contribution. So thank you to Chevron, to our Education Foundation, and Raising Cane's for this evening.
All of you are welcome to stay for the business meeting, but if you want to with your students, you certainly can leave now, and it's up to you. Thank you for being here and supporting your students. Really? Okay, yeah, it sounds like
A bunch of people outside waiting for a seat.
okay.
Okay.
Good job, man.
Yeah. Can't reach my water.
It was when I ran to the lady.
We will proceed. We'll proceed with the agenda. Consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of administrative personnel. Ms. Morgan.
Mr. President, I move that we approve administrative personnel addenda pages A through, hold on just one second, H.
Second.
Okay, that was you. Motion made and second. Gordon? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes.
I'd like to introduce, it's my pleasure to introduce these.
Is everyone inside now, Ms. Lopez? Okay, let's give them just one second, because I think there was a little bit of a transition out and in. I would hate for them to miss their name being called.
Right.
We got some front row seats up here. Miss Rippey is only charging $5 for the front row seats for
And all of it
library,
goes
for library services.
Happy birthday.
Is that good? Okay, we're good.
Belated.
It's my honor to introduce these that have just been named for administrative personnel. First, we have Mr. Juan Fernandez. Mr. Fernandez has been named Assistant Principal at Beverly Hills Intermediate for the remainder of the 23-24 school year. Mr. Fernandez, do you have family with you?
Yes, ma'am. I have a lovely wife, I'd like to thank the board.
Congratulations. Next is Abby Gonzalez. Abby has been named assistant principal at Beverly Hills Intermediate for the 2024-2025 school year. Abby, congratulations. Abby, I see you have family with you. Would you like to introduce them? Congratulations. Next, we have Holly Llewellyn. Holly has been named Instructional Specialist of Fine Arts for the remainder of the 23-24 school year. Holly, congratulations. Do you have family with you? Awesome. We're excited too. Next is Brian Palmer. Brian has been named Assistant Principal at Sparks Elementary. Brian, do you have family with you? Congratulations. Next, we have Joanna Vega, and Joanna has been named Assistant Principal at Turner for the 24-25 school year. I know you probably have family with you. Would you like to introduce them, please? Awesome. Next, we have Lacey Lee. Lacey's been named Dean of Early College High School at Sam Rayburn High School. Do you have family with you? Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations in your new position. Next, we have Jeremy Purvis. Jeremy has been named, okay guys, Jeremy's been named Coordinator of Programming and Instruction for the Special Education Department for the remainder of the 23-24 school year. Jeremy, congratulations. Do you have family with you? Oh, you got a lot of family in this room. Awesome, awesome, congratulations. And last but not least is Justin Wingard. Justin has been named Dean of Early College at South Houston High School. Congratulations. Did you bring family with you?
I do have my partner, Will, here today with
You've got a room full of family. Congratulations to each of you. A lot of excitement in this room, and we're excited for you. We know you're going to be doing absolutely awesome things for PISD. Thank you, guys.
We had a lot of names. Did we get them all, Bobby? Okay. Somebody might cry if we didn't call their name.
No joke. I'm going to give you the same opportunity I gave the previous group. If you would like to go now before the business meeting, you're certainly welcome. Thank you for being here. They said, hallelujah, praise the Lord, right?
Bonnie.
I'll take care over there.
Who's here from Gallagher? Who's here? Derek. And Matthew. You don't remember.
Well, not every single time.
I'm going to say Derek and Matthew.
Worse than that.
How about one?
Washing my hands after
Okay, let's see where we're going here. Okay.
I'm pretty relaxed, but then I see you and that keeps me.
Let them clear out, right?
Mr. McCarley, they know they can use the training rooms for, okay.
Putting them to work already?
No, I mean, if they want to stand around, yeah, rather than the lobby.
Probably is a good thing to
Would get loud at the old building. Yeah.
There are no back rows, so you got to move forward.
They're all Baptist. They're all Baptist.
Okay.
See where these people been. We'll resume our business meeting. Item 2, consideration and possible approval of CSP number 24P-025LP to Gallagher Benefit Services, Inc. for employees' benefits and insurance consulting services.
So move.
Motion by Ms. Morgan,
Second.
second by Mr. Fernandez. Comments or questions?
We have representatives here from Gallagher, but again, you are recognizing probably Derek and Matthew out there as our reps.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. And thank you all for being here. Consideration and possible approval of changes to the sick leave bank guidelines.
So move.
Second.
Comments or questions?
We just had to, of course, with Linda Flores retiring, make sure we had a change, and we're putting that under our benefits department.
We voted on this, I think.
Not yet.
All in favor?
Aye.
No. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of special education department reorganization for the 2024-2025 school year, resulting in a cost savings of $60,000.
So move.
Second.
By Ms. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan.
Ms. Hellman, do you have the motion?
I did.
I think you did, and I
then
seconded.
Trustee Morgan. Oh, you had the second. Okay, thank
Yes.
you. You're correct. I apologize.
Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. 5, 6, and 7 are for certified personnel, Certified personnel for information only. Educational section, empowering people through technology support and service. Melissa?
Couple of presentations, and so we'll kick off with Dr. McCullough.
Be helpful if we start at the beginning, right? Or it'd be the shortest presentation ever. You might give me props for that, actually. Well, good evening, Dr. Powell and board members. I'm so excited tonight to share a little bit about our technology spotlights and some of the investments that we've been making over the last few years. I wanted to start us tonight just grounding us in the why. You've seen this slide before in other presentations, but tonight we'll be highlighting a few of the ways that we are building the portrait of a graduate through technology. I'd be remiss if I didn't start with sharing a little bit about our team. There are 5 departments who make up the technology team. They support 8,000 employees and over 48,000 students across this district. Some of our team members are here tonight. They're joining us, and they're responsible for things like our student information system, PEAMS reporting, our E-rate programs, over 300 digital resources, and over 150,000 devices that are internet connected in the district. We also have all the infrastructure that is in place to keep those things operating 24/7 in a safe and secure way. So I imagine you've been in the front office of a campus a time or two, and our technology investment starts before you even get there. But when you walk into that door, that receptionist is answering the phone, the intercom bell is ringing, we have somebody scanning in through our ID system, and maybe that visitor, they're checking out what's going on that campus on those digital signage there in the office. All those upgrades through our 2022 bond and technology, and they're exciting ways that we're making a difference in those front offices. And they're also being supported in the background by our technology team every day. But talking about safety and security, you made a very strong investment earlier this year in the safety and security update, and we're in full swing for that. That's a collaboration that's going on with our construction team, our technology team, emergency management, and our police force. We're investing in cameras, video management system, access control, and intrusion alarm. We're kicked off going strong. We're going to touch every campus by the time we're done, and we're going to make it a lot easier for our staff to manage that. In fact, last week, you can see there, we kicked off the video management system at Thompson Intermediate, and before the start of the school year, that video management system will be in place for all of our campuses. Additionally, our IT operations team is using those bond dollars and that E-rate money to make improvements in our technology as we plan with our construction group. We're putting in place some sustainable technology in our new construction projects, whether it's infrastructure or in the classroom. We've been updating PA systems, just finished Adobe. We'll be moving to 2 new campuses this summer. And additionally, we've updated CTHS's video walls and AV systems throughout the district, including South Houston High School's Reinhardt's Auditorium and several of our elementary cafetoriums. But it's not just the devices, it's really what you do with them, right? And so we've been empowering our staff and supporting our students and engaging our parents. So whether it's a parent logging on to Skyward so that they can get access to the grades and attendance, and most recently, our students' fees, or it's a principal who's designing an engaging newsletter to reach out to parents or inviting them to campus for an event. It's important to us and critical that we're providing support for them as they communicate with our parents and students. One of those exciting new opportunities, and I'm very proud to share this one, is the Student Family Traditions Project, led by our library services team and our parent coordinators, as well as collaborating with our local Chick-fil-A. These students at 3 elementaries are telling their story, and they're telling it with their parents' help, writing and illustrating, and they're published authors. Next week, we're going to be celebrating them. It's very exciting to see them developing at such an early age, this skill, as well as our portrait of the graduate attributes of effective communicator. But it's not just special moments like that, but it's every day in the classroom. And over the last 18 months, the investments we've made have helped us upgrade our teacher computers, our Promethean panels and projectors, all of our library presentation stations. And this isn't just the bond dollars at work. This is also awards and grants, like the congressionally awarded grant from our local congresswoman, that's making these things possible for our teachers and our librarians to enhance our instruction. One of those new experiences for our students that I'm really excited about is a collaboration that was just recent between CTHS and our technology support services. We have a few computers in this district, and these students who are at CTHS in the computer maintenance and networking pathway, their administrators and teachers were looking for ways to get them hands-on experience. So those students are now learning their computer maintenance skills by working on our devices, getting them back into our warehouse and back into the hands of students, building marketable skills and resumes for future job opportunities. Job opportunities like the ones that you see here on the screen. Things like in our warehouse team, in our IT operations, computer technicians, and help desk. These are the people who are doing the background work, cybersecurity, the delivery and installation of our services, maintenance and support. We're privileged and blessed here to have campus-based technicians who are here supporting our students and our staff every day. All of that support is being managed by our work order system. Incident IQ launched this spring, and our goal is to make our transparent service level agreements so that we can improve every day the type of support that we're giving for our staff and our students. Part of that is needed because, as you imagine, since COVID, we've seen an acceleration in the number of digital resources that are being used. We curate those resources in our ClassLink portal, and whether it's a teacher using them for instructional design or a student who's accessing them in a safe environment for meaningful learning opportunities, this is a great place for us to curate those resources. But before those students ever sign on, it's important that we empower them to be digital citizens. We want to provide them, and we've been building a great curriculum that our librarians and others on staff are launching for our students. This is teaching them about media balance, safe behavior online, and how to keep their digital footprint safe. Whether it's the Digital Citizenship Week or those lessons, it's critical for knowledge for them to be successful in the future. Now, you might be hearing there's only about 22, 23 days left in the school year. So what's next for next year? We're already thinking about that. So a couple of initiatives, our AI committee, and this is a hot topic in the news, and you hear about it a lot, but our AI committee has been meeting all year long, developing recommendations for best practices on how to support our students. We have esports already in the district, but we're looking at those opportunities for our students to engage in that. And then additionally, we're partnering with the CTE group in their STEM grant, and then looking at the VR and training for students. So we're very excited about those opportunities as we're coming up, and we thank you so much for your support, and I appreciate the opportunity to share the work of all these great people who are out here tonight.
You want to have your team or those that are on your team stand up?
Yeah, I would love it. If you're here tonight from the technology division, would you please stand, please?
Thank you.
Great
Super.
presentation.
Y'all
Thank
do a
you so
great
much.
job.
Absolutely, thank
Good
you.
presentation, Dr. McCollum.
I want to ask one question. How is the district moving forward with AI? Because I know that's a new topic, especially in education regarding students and how they use it.
Well, our priority is always data privacy and safety and security. So we've taken a really slow approach to really investigate data privacy, what the best practices are. So we'll be bringing some recommendations regarding the student handbook and how AI should be used in the classroom. And that stakeholder group was made up of students, a little bit of student feedback, but teachers and other stakeholders in the district.
Questions?
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much. I think there's
Appreciate
another.
it. Thank your team. I got building bridges by connecting talent to opportunity. Mickey?
Escamilla is going to talk about all the great things happening in HR. And one big topic, which is teacher incentive allotment.
Good evening, esteemed members of our school board, colleagues, and our school community. My name is Mikey Escamilla, and I'm a proud member of Pasadena ISD's Human Resource Department. I serve in the role of Executive Director, for those of you who didn't already know that. And I'm very excited to be able to share with you all a glimpse of the strides that we're making in order to fortify the foundation of our educational system through HR here in Pasadena. As our school district, our mission is deeply rooted in providing our students with limitless opportunities for growth and success. And we believe in fostering positive relationships, delivering rigorous curriculum, and offering innovative experiences to empower our students. And our vision is to see our students become self-directed, collaborative learners who make meaningful contributions to our ever-changing world. And at the heart of our Human Resource Department, it is our commitment to actively recruit, develop, and retain the highly qualified staff to help us promote all of the learning that needs to go on for our students to be able to carry that mission out. Over the past academic year, our recruiting efforts have been very robust. Our presence at 32 job fairs has allowed us to engage nearly 900 prospective teachers, showcasing the opportunities available within our district. We have successfully hired 683 teachers, 9 nurses, and 206 paraprofessionals this year alone. Currently, Pasadena ISD boasts a diverse team of dedicated professionals, and we have a little over 3,800 teachers, about 350 campus administrators, almost 1,100 instructional aides, and 3,200 non-instructional staff members, all working together to support our students' growth and success. Recognizing the pivotal role that our teachers and staff play in shaping the future of our community, we understand that it's imperative that we invest in their recruitment, development, and retention to ensure a thriving learning environment for all. And retaining our talented staff is a top priority for us, and one of the highlights of our retention efforts is the professional development that we provide to our teachers and staff. To support this professional growth, we have offered a staggering 8,400 hours of professional development opportunities, and our staff have taken advantage of this and have completed a whopping 215,000 hours of professional development throughout this year. Our retention efforts also extend to fostering a supportive and inclusive work environment where every member of our team feels valued, respected, and empowered. Our district campus and department leaders actively seek feedback, listen to concerns, and implement solutions that promote collaboration, communication, and camaraderie. We also understand the critical importance of teacher compensation in fostering retention. Our competitive starting teacher salary of $62,456.11, combined with comprehensive benefits packages, ensure that our staff feel valued and supported in their roles. Now, another highlight of our retention efforts is the work that we're doing to leverage the teacher incentive allotment to improve that teacher compensation. The Teacher Incentive Allotment Program, established by Texas House Bill 3, is a key initiative aimed at recruiting, retaining, and rewarding highly effective teachers. This program aligns with our district's goal of prioritizing student growth and achievement while also recognizing and incentivizing excellence among our educators. Based on the teacher observation score and demonstrated student growth, teachers can receive one of 3 designation ratings and additional compensation through stipends based on the designation rating that they earn. In other words, all teachers who become designated will stand to earn a little bit more money every year. On this screen, you'll see the average campus allotment for designated teachers in Pasadena ISD. And now keep in mind, however, that this is only an average as TEA takes into consideration the teacher's designation rating as well as the socioeconomic need of the campus where that teacher serves. Over the last several years, our district has been working to build out our very own designation system in order to get our teachers on the journey towards earning TIA designation. Here's a graphic that shows our plan to phase teachers into our local designation system. The goal of our rollout our rollout plan is to give all teachers an opportunity to become eligible by the 2026-2027 school year. By providing clear feedback and growth opportunities, we aim to support our teachers in achieving their full potential and maximizing their students' success. Pasadena ISD's designation system utilizes a combination of T-tests, observations, and student growth to allow teachers to earn their designation. We are currently in our first data capture year with a cohort of 8 campuses who are working through the designation activities in reading, math, social studies, and science. Currently, we have collected the necessary observations and are awaiting the final administration of NWEA MAP in May to wrap up the data collection portion of our data capture year. And we are going to, after we submit our teacher observations and student growth data for review in June, we expect to receive a final TEA weighted scores with designation determinations in September. After receiving these determinations, we hope to have our data validated and approved by April of 2025 and have teachers who are designated start receiving their allotment in August of 2025. The benefits of successful implementation of our TIA designation system will go a long way towards attracting and retaining highly qualified teachers and help promote professional development and collaboration among educators throughout our district, all of which will lead to improving student learning. In conclusion, I just want to thank you for your attention and support to the work that we do every day. Our initiatives underscore our dedication to recruiting, retaining, and rewarding exceptional educators in Pasadena ISD, and together we will continue to create a thriving learning environment for all of our students.
Thank you, Mr. Escamilla.
Thank you.
If you're bored Saturday, we have a job fair, right?
9 to 12, Pasadena Memorial High School.
There you go.
Tell your friends, post it on Facebook.
Question from anybody?
Yeah, I only have one question regarding the how campus allotments are determined. It says that the school has to be considered rural. Are we
So
considered?
it takes into consideration of if the school is a rural location. The main focus of the teacher incentive allotment is to recruit and retain teachers in these hard to staff areas, and typically rural campuses have a higher need in staffing, and so that's one of the considerations. And so Pasadena ISD is not considered rural, so that would not be a consideration in our designation.
But if we were, teachers will be able to get even more.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, but we're not.
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically, yes. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Hard work.
Paying off.
Yes, sir. Now we have School Health Advisory Shack Board Report for 23-24. Amber McNeish. McNeish, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
I'm short. Okay. Good evening, school board members and Dr. Powell. My name is Elise Neff, and I'm the Coordinated School Health Specialist. I serve as the co-chair for the SHAC along with Amber McNeish and Mary Davis, a parent from Parks Elementary. The SHAC Executive Committee is here tonight to share the highlights from the School Health Advisory Council Board Report. You can find the full report of all the SHAC activities for the year in the official SHAC Board Report that you have in front of you, as well as on the district website. The work of the SHAC is completed within committees based upon the whole school, whole community, and whole child model. This year, we focused on developing a clear mission and vision statement to drive our work. Let's start with some celebrations. 5 of our campuses were named one of America's healthiest schools by the Alliance for the Healthier Generation. This program celebrates schools for implementing policies and practices to promote health and well-being. The Shack has also been an integral part in the alignment of the Portrait of a Graduate and the Whole Child Framework. Now for the Shack Committee updates.
Hello, I'm Amber McNeish. I serve as the PE Health and Wellness Coordinator for the district, but I also am a co-chair for the PE, the Physical Activity, the Health Education, and Employee Wellness Committees. District-wide, all of our PE special events were a huge success. We are almost back to pre-pandemic numbers, which is huge for us. And then with the Walk for Sight, we partner with the Lions Club for the Walk for Sight, and we raised the most funds ever this year, exceeding $57,000. That was huge. And then Pasadena ISD PE and health teachers were trained at the state convention. We had a team of teachers that presented a session on more than just games. And then all of the PE teachers and the health teachers were trained on jump rope skills, pickleball in preparation for our big tournament. And then we were also trained on fitnessgram. I'll mention it one other time. And then our campuses found creative ways to keep their students, staff, and their community healthy and physically active through walk-to-school events, recess, before and after-school physical activity programs, as well as a bike-to-school event that was hosted by Bondi Intermediate. And then I saw many of you there this morning at the Spark Park dedication for Pearl Hall. So they got a park upgrade with some really cool components. There's a neat climbing spider component and a merry-go-round, as well as a beautiful mural. Beverly Hills Intermediate is their construction is in progress. You can see that the tennis courts have been upgraded, and there is going to be a Ninja Warrior course and potentially a goggle ball pit. And then this year, there were a few legislative updates related to health instruction. There was House Bill 4375, which added AED instruction to our CPR graduation requirement. And then House Bill 3908 requires instruction on the dangers of fentanyl. We already had that material covered within our regular curriculum, so we continued with that, but we added in Red Ribbon Week activities, Above the Influence Week activities, as well as Vaping Prevention Week material. And our employee wellness, our employees showed off their skills in our employee wellness leagues for volleyball, softball, and basketball, and a super fun pickleball tournament. Some even raced to the finish in our first ever Get Fit Jog employee race.
Do we have video of Mr. Fernandez and Mr.
No, we might be able to find some.
That's why Casey didn't make it tonight.
And our employees also had the opportunity to participate in quarterly employee wellness events that challenge them to move more, increase their water intake, to eat well, and to stress less and sleep more.
Hello, my name is Catherine Ossie, and I serve as the Assistant Director of Nutrition. The Nutrition Services Department continues to focus on providing fresh, high-quality, healthy meals to all of our students. The community eligibility provision has been a great benefit to all the students at Pasadena, allowing all students to have free breakfast and lunch. We're serving on average about 2,500 to 2,800 additional meals every day than the previous year through this provision that we have. We received the TDA Turn Up the Beat Award again this year for our summer meal programs. This award recognizes outstanding summer meal programs who go above and beyond to offer quality, nutritious meals to all of our children during the summer. We are one of 141 programs that was recognized nationwide and 38 that was recognized statewide. We are one of 8 districts awarded a grant from the No Kid Hungry to upgrade breakfast in the classroom equipment at one of our campuses to allow access for students for nutritionally balanced breakfasts. And we were featured in the School Nutrition Association Pray Talk blog for going above and beyond to ensure our students receive high quality meals that are both nutritious and appetizing.
My name is Tiffany Davis, and I serve as a program specialist with the ACE After School program. As with me is Krishna Shah. She's the coordinator of special projects, and together we serve as co-committee chairs.
Behind every child that makes the most progress, you'll find an actively involved family. Our ACE coordinators and our district parent coordinators live this vision and support our PISD families in building strong home and school partnerships. Our dedicated coordinators have been instrumental in supporting families through various challenges, from tackling food insecurities to guiding families through crisis situations. They have been a pillar of hope. To date, PISD has served over 1,200 families with fresh food and vegetables. Collaborating with over 70 community agencies further amplifies their impact in developing strong family networks. Throughout this year, our coordinators have facilitated over 1,500 parent events and trainings covering topics ranging from mental health awareness to healthy living and academic enrichment. These initiatives show the PISD commitment in supporting our families. By living this vision, PISD and our coordinators are laying the foundation for our students to thrive and flourish. Thank you for your support. So the school behavioral health team is reflected with counseling, safety, and behavior response. And we support the whole school, whole community, whole child model in the areas of social and emotional climate and counseling, as well as psychological and social services. And so my name is Amani Khalil. I serve as the behavior coordinator for the district. And our team supports PISD's multi-tiered system of supports for behavior and mental health. We receive referrals from all campuses and provide direct student support based on the need. We also help coordinate mental health partnerships and offer targeted professional development at both the campus and the district level.
I am part of that team also. I'm Robin Harold. I serve as the counselor coordinator. I have school counselors, mental health, school-based support counselors, and social workers. This year, Pasadena ISD had 43 campuses, which is about 94 of our school counselors who received the CREST Award. And that's from TCA, and it's for an outstanding comprehensive school counseling program. So we're very proud of those school counselors. Oh, thank you. I just started talking. And then I was honored to be nominated by the school counselors and to win TCA's Counselor Supervisor of the Year at that same banquet. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. And then obviously we're very proud of our mental health efforts here in Pasadena. So we wrote a grant, the school-based mental health grant with support of some team members here. In our first semester, so within like the first 4 months of this school year, those 10 counselors received over 400 referrals for mental health services. And these numbers obviously are continuing to grow. And the stories that these counselors tell of helping these students is just amazing. I hope to be able to share that with y'all one day.
Fix the mic. Good evening. My name is Gabriela Chapa Herrera, and I am the Threat Assessment Specialist for the district. And I'm so honored to be in this position. And I just want to share with you a little bit of the work that we've been doing in our threat lane. So in 2020, the district received the Stop the Violence grant from the Department of Justice. And this has provided us the funding to be able to prevent to be able to implement programs to prevent school violence. So some things that the grant has enabled us to do has been to implement the Safe School Ambassadors program at all of our intermediate and high schools. And that allows our students to learn preventative coping strategies so that, you know, there are eyes in our ears and they're able to get in front of many situations or bring it to the attention of our school staff. Also, we've been able to implement our anonymous alerts along with the See Something, Say Something campaign so that community members, school staff, as well as students get to report safety concerns anonymously. And Let's see. So we are just closing out that 2020 grant. But the good news is in October of last year, we got granted another Stop the Violence grant that has allowed us to begin to expand some of those prevention programs. So going from intermediate and high school to elementary and middle school so that our kids are prepared once they get to our secondary level, as well as expand just the threat assessment support that we have for our campuses with our new position of Safe School Liaison. Thank you very much.
I'm April Wiesdell. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer for the district. I've been happy to be in this role for quite a minute now. This is probably our best year yet. So this year, we started the year out in August with our first ever free conference for nurses. Nurses are required to get 20 hours of continuing education, and they have to pay for them. So this year, we put it together, we did it for free, and we invited Dickinson, Galena Park, Channelview, LaPorte, and Deer Park, and we had nurses from all over this area come. We invited them on purpose because our kids are highly mobile. They bounce from us to Deer Park to LaPorte. I want our kids to get the best care, whether it's in my house or yours. So we made sure to bring them in. They're also smaller districts. They don't have what we have, the ability to do something on this scale. It was a full day, 8-hour. We did vision, hearing, any type of training they need, or they could go to targeted trainings on assessments. It was a great day. We also went to See to Succeed and took over 1,300 kids. You'll remember I've talked to you about this before. It's where they go and pick out their glasses. This year there were 10 urgent referrals. What an urgent referral means is if they don't go, they could go blind. And they caught 10. So every year that we can take these kids, we're doing huge things. Lastly, we put Narcan in our schools. The law said we have to put it in from 6th grade to 12th, but we know realistically the target area is 18 to 34 years old. So having it on every campus seemed like a really good idea, especially the beginning of the year. I don't know if you remember, a 4-year-old in New York got into a caregiver's purse and got fentanyl. So we want it on every campus for the rest of our lives. We did use 1 dose this year. The child did not end up taking a narcotic, but they were sick, unconscious, nobody knew, and the principal said, can we try it? It's one more thing, and they gave it, and they all felt better because, okay, now we know it's not this. And if you give it and the child didn't need it, no harm will come. So what a great extra piece to have in our toolkit. And I thank you all for supporting health services and letting us spread our wings this big, because this was a great year. Thanks.
Thank you.
My SHAC committees. I love working with these teams. I can see great things happening. To read more about the things that we're looking forward to and planning for next year, it can be found in the board report. And as always, thank you for supporting us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great job, great presentation, and if you didn't get goosebumps on that, maybe you need to hear it again. That was great. Good stuff.
Thank you so much.
April, you just get me going all the time.
I'm here all week.
Hopefully a little bit longer than that.
We're having a board to provide the board an updated related to H. Bill 3908. On information only.
And they did some of that in their presentation.
Absolutely, yeah, I saw that. Okay. Consideration possible approval of the 2024-2025 amended and restated Region 4 Regional Day School Program for the Deaf Shared Services Arrangement Agreement.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? In favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Item 6, consideration and possible approval of the instructional materials and technology allotment takes certification for the 2024-2025 school year.
So move. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of interlocal agreement with Houston Community College for internship and externship students.
So moved.
Second.
By Mrs. Sullivan, second by Mrs. Davila. Comments or questions?
Do we know how many?
Do we know how many, Michelle? We have one so far.
One.
One, but this opens the opportunity for more.
Thank you.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of Bond Intermediate's 8th grade U.S. history students to travel to Washington, D.C. and New York from March 13th through March 19th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Who made the motion?
Vicki?
Kenny? Yeah, I got it.
Trustee Morgan, motion, and second.
I got it.
Trustee Fernandez. Yes, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of students and faculty from Pasadena High School and others from within PISD to travel to and from Washington, D.C. and New York City, personally funded at a cost of $27.25 per student and $3,105 for adults, for educational experimental reasons during spring break of 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? I have one. Consideration and possible approval of students and faculty from Pasadena High School and others within the district. What does others mean?
Come to the mic. This is Ms. Edwards.
Hi. In the past, we've not been able to meet our goal of having a group that's just from Pasadena High School. So we've been teamed up with kids from all over the country. We've been teamed up with kids from just outside Detroit to Arizona to farm kids from Nebraska who took their entire junior class to, I can tell you, kids from all over the place. My goal, though, is to have a group that's just PISD kids. So in talking to teachers from other campuses, Rayburn in particular, they have some interest on their campus as well. And so I was thinking we could get a PISD trip. So if we could have a group of kids that's all PISD, then we could have a little bit more flexibility in our itinerary, and we could build that camaraderie within the district and have kids within the district meeting each other.
Makes sense. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you.
Have we voted on this? All in favor?
No, we need a vote. Thank you.
I have a question, because that was my question.
So it's meant to be just only PISD students.
Yes,
So it's,
just to be inclusive
so that
within the
when
district.
y'all get there, y'all don't have to tag along with a team from other states or cities or
Yes.
school districts.
Yeah, it's never been an issue
It's a
before, but I
numbers.
just would love to have a group that's just PISD
And I do,
kids.
and I love it. I love every last bit of it.
Can they alter that to only others that are PISD
They
high
can.
school
They
students?
can make the motion
Is that what
to
you're
be
wanting,
all
high
that
school?
except others, if that's the preference.
Or if it
Are you
were-
requesting the flexibility?
What do you mean? Yes. Well, in the past, I've only had Pasadena High School, so I wanted to open it up to more. And so, right,
Pasadena ISD, I think is
Yes.
the
High
clarification.
school only.
high school only. Yes.
I think the statement with others from within PISD says itself.
Well, he's saying high school rather than intermediate or
Oh,
other grades.
okay.
So if we
Right.
could say, and others from within Pasadena High, PISD high schools. Can we add that word?
Yes. That can be the
Okay.
motion if that's who.
Can we make that word?
Yes,
Motion.
Is that your motion, Trustee Morgan? Yes. Is the second continue?
Can see that there could, at some point, be raised of others. Should there be a discipline issue or something?
Right.
I think that we should keep it to,
Yes. Right.
Objective's good. Objective is very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take a vote.
Need to call for a vote, Mr. Vice President.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Passes.
thank you.
Student achievements, read through those. They're very fantastic with what our students are achieving. Financial section. Consideration and possible approval of budget amendments for
I
March.
move that we approve the budget amendments for March 2024.
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of notifying TEA of intent to change the fiscal year start date from September the 1st to July 1st, effective July the 1st, 2025.
So move.
Second.
Comments or discussions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Operations section, Learning by Design 2024 Outstanding Project Award for the new Thompson Intermediate School Replacement Project. Lisa?
Well, let's get Lisa to stand. Are you going to do a presentation? Okay. She's going to brag a little bit.
Say a few things.
Okay.
Yes. So it is exciting.
And you'll introduce your team.
I will.
Wonderful.
This is exciting because normally I stand up here at the beginning of a project to discuss the design of a new project, but tonight I get to talk about one at its conclusion. So it's an honor to be here tonight to celebrate with y'all 2024 Outstanding Project Award by Learning by Design. We obviously put the pen to the paper, but it was really in collaboration with you guys that made this project so spectacular. So as architects, sometimes we get accused of just wanting to design beautiful buildings, and that is true, but ultimately, getting to design a building that meets your needs and even exceeds that is really what we want to do. And it gives us great pleasure to be able to give you a facility to allow you to do your job, which is to educate students. And so it has been a great pleasure to do that for you guys, and we are very proud of Thompson Intermediate School. So I have a plaque for you guys that celebrates this award, and so this award was given to us, like I said, by Learning by Design, and it was put in front of some blind jurors of educational architects and designers and facility people, and they looked at it on 6 criteria, and those criteria were design, challenge, and innovation, sustainability and social impact, interior architecture and design, next generation learning, functional design, and effective space planning, and community needs. And so one of the jurors had this comment about the project, and I quote, "George A. Thompson Intermediate's zoning and organization facilitates social interaction and flexible learning opportunities. Collaborative spaces outside classrooms are accessible and well-equipped with movable and ergonomic furniture. Muted colors and exterior sunshades contribute to a sophisticated atmosphere while enhancing user comfort and energy efficiency." So finally, I just want to thank you for allowing us to be part of this project. And I want to give out a shout out to my team. We have John Haskew, Felipe Silva, Alfredo Sanchez, and Jim McSherry here with us. And I want to specifically call out Jim and Alfredo. They're the ones that really put in the hard work on this project. And I also want to give a shout out to Dramala, who's in this room. They were the contractor on this project. So once again, thank you for that. I also have the magazine that the award is published in, and I bookmarked it for you. So we have a plaque in the magazine to give you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sure.
I cannot tell you how much that building has influenced the neighborhood. I've had an opportunity to be there multiple times. The design is outstanding and the construction is superior. And that is a school that is a lifeline to our neighborhood and a light to our community. Thank you so much, Lisa, for an outstanding
And
job.
your team, yeah. Beautiful project, beautiful job.
I'll take the plaque.
All right.
I already stole Kevin's magazine. Are you giving me a second one?
Into 7 pieces.
Sorry, Kevin. I got a second magazine.
Thank you, Lisa. Consideration possible approval of construction contract with Ally Energy Solutions for the 2022 Bond Power Factor Correction Group 2 project at Turner Elementary, Morris Middle School, and Jackson Intermediate School in the amount of $104,000.
So move.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
That's not a,
Okay, we do have a presentation.
Yes, we
Michael?
do. From Michael Bowman,
there
Ally
is a
Energy
presentation that comes
Solutions,
with the
so
board members.
it's both. Got some exciting news to share.
I don't know if it's exciting or as impressive as your Vanguard winners, but we'll give it a heck. My name's Michael Bowman. I'm Vice President of Power Quality at Ally Energy Solutions. Pretty diversified energy services company. Work with really large companies, but I've been working with school districts for about 12 years now in the state of Texas. Kind of expanded out other states as well, but really, this is just to kind of show the success. We did a pilot project for this same endeavor to essentially reduce electricity costs. And so some of that's just to kind of go through that project. We've kind of vetted it now for 3 months, but again, you're in good hands, I think. This is just kind of our resume, I would say, just of these school districts. I'll put Pasadena on there because we do have...
First.
What's that?
Put it on there first.
That's right, that's right. But worked with a lot of school districts in the Houston area, Dallas-Fort Worth. We just finished the NRG complex. We just did like center down there, so it was a pretty large project. And then you've probably shopped at a lot of places we've done work for. We do a lot with big box retailers and grocers. But I would say just those top few schools up there, or just this page, is several hundred projects across the state over many years. Just in general, just kind of what are you buying? Power factor is just an energy efficiency measurement. It's kind of out of electrical engineering book, but utilities kind of care how efficiently you're using power. And so by improving power factor, you can actually reduce your electric costs from center point. So this is really based on what we call demand, not really kilowatt hours. That's more like operating hours. Demand, think about that like your speedometer on your car. It's like your top speed. That's what a demand is. And so CenterPoint measures that every month, just like they do for all their other customers. But if we can get the power factor up, there's just an inverse relationship. Power factor goes up and your demand goes down. And so that's where the savings come from. It's very predictable. And again, we've got 3 months of data at Pasadena Memorial. That was the pilot program. So you don't have to read all this, but this is what we pull from CenterPoint. This is how we can actually verify that we've done our job. So you just kind of focus over there to the right. This is a billing report we request from them. And you can see those two columns. Hopefully it's not too blurry, but you see a power factor column and a build KVA. So this is straight from them. And you can see down there in the bottom right, I'll kind of focus on it. Power factors were running, generally in the 83 to 86 range. Since the project was completed in December, we've had power factors of 98, 98, and 97. Our guarantee was 95%. Because this is very performance-based. We're not selling you equipment and walking away. It's just, it's a performance, not performance contract, but performance-based type project that we're going to guarantee a minimum of 95%. So we actually overachieved. Right now we're running about 98, 98, 97. So yeah, at the end of the day, we're going to be installing what are called capacitor banks. That's really the solution for power factor. We didn't invent capacitor banks, but we're really good at doing them in a way that has a lower cost of implementation, and we really keep an eye on maintenance. We don't want to put bells and whistles on these things if they don't need them. But we did not invent capacitor banks. They've been around. I think Ben Franklin invented the first one, believe it or not, in a small manner. But that's what we're doing at the end of the day. And I don't know if you can see over here, I just kind of highlighted the same months in the preceding year. You see your KVAs are all over 1,000. They're like 1,051, 1,039. Now with power factor improved, we're at 917, 906, 877. And those are actually the lowest demands for this whole 24-month period. It's obviously working. To how much money we projected, about $13,000 a year in savings. So we're overachieving a little bit. And across the district, again, you guys are, I appreciate you considering 3 more projects, but across the district, there's probably about 350,000 in power factor savings that we've identified. So But we got to prove this out, and I think it's a good diligent approach to kind of let's do 1, 2, and then we always joke 1, 2, 30. You know, that's always a good track. But yeah. When did we do the project? We did, so you see down the highlighted green down here, so we did the project in December over Christmas holidays. So the first month, we actually saw improvement go from, 83% in before the install, and it jumped up to 98%. And again, this is directly from CenterPoint. It's not my numbers, I just pulled the data. But this is how we can measure and verify pretty easily. And this just kind of gives you, it's a kind of graphical of that report I just showed you. So this is what you should expect. These are the historical demands up here in the red. And now that we're seeing power factors somewhere around 97%, these are the demand levels we should see throughout the year. And obviously in the summers and things, your demand can be a little higher. But this is our projection of KVA savings forward. I would say it's probably saving about, in a full year, it's going to save about 10% of your demand charges. Nice chunk. And I would say probably 5% of the whole bill, because there's that other part of your bill too. Again, that's done more through an electricity contract. But at the end of the day, this is just a picture of the completed project. You can see it's just this unit down here. We definitely get into projects where it's much more complicated equipment. There's some that are as big as a tractor trailer, and some industrial projects we do. But for projects like these, fairly simple to implement. I think we had 4 hours of downtime to the school, and we purposely did it over Christmas holidays, so not too impactful. But again, that's what we're doing here, and we've got 3 more projects being considered, and I'm confident successful outcome. Questions? Happy to take them.
Have a vote. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And we're looking to save the money.
Cost avoidance. Great job.
Consideration and possible approval of construction contract with Jamel and Smith Construction LP for the 2022 Bond CTE Classroom and Lab Improvement Project in the amount of $4,670,000 and non-award for 2022 Bond CTE Classroom and Lab Improvement Project, CSP number 24P-0014LP/.
So move.
Second.
Who was this? Okay.
Trustee Morgan and Trustee
Any
Smith.
comments or questions?
We do have representatives here, Jake Jamel and Brad Hooper with Jamel and Smith, in case you have questions.
Question from anybody? You guys got off light, right? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of construction contract with Bayside Plumbing for the 2022 Bond Plumbing Upgrade Group 1, Package 1 project in the amount of $779,888.
So move.
Second.
Comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration of possible approval of construction contract with Dramala Construction Company, LLC for the 2022 Bond New Parks Elementary School Replacement Project in the amount of $37,630,182.
So move.
Second.
We have a representative here. If anybody has any
Yes.
questions from Dramala?
Rusty
I just
Klaus.
want you to do your magic like you did on Thompson, and as you've done in the other schools in our district.
Been great.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You've been a valued company.
Yes.
We appreciate that too. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration of possible approval of final change order number 002 for the Building Management Control System, BMCS, Upgrades Group 1 project in the credit amount of $61,269.
So move.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration possible approval allowance expenditure authorization, AEEA, number 008 for the roof replacement package 1 project in the amount of $31,808.72.
So move.
Second.
Morgan, nomination, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration of possible approval allowance expenditure authorization, AEA, number 009, for the roof replacement package 1 project in the amount of $30,313.95.
So move.
Second.
Comments or questions?
Kevin, was the fascia a part of the previous approval that we did, or is it another part of the building?
This was a discovered condition that we didn't find until we started pulling off and demolishing. It was a condition that we hadn't planned on addressing. But
So it's the same roof
Yes.
location that we just approved
correct. It
the
was
other page?
Yes.
The previous page. Thank you.
Same project. Yes.
Consideration of possible.
We didn't.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Consideration and possible approval resolution of the Board of Trustees authorizing the use of eminent domain to condemn property.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Instruction update is for information only. No public comments, I think, signed up after the agenda. Announce board training requirements for the period covered by this announcement, May 1st, 2023 through April 23rd, 2024. Mr. Hodgins.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, board members, and members of the community. And let me read some information related to this agenda item regarding board training. Under State Board of Education rule, with respect to our board, completing required continuing education is required for each year of service. It's a basic obligation under the rule and an expectation of any sitting board member of Pasadena ISD. The board president, or in this case, the presiding officer, the vice president tonight, is required to announce the name of each member of the board who's completed the required continuing education and has exceeded the required continuing education and/or is deficit exists with respect to meeting the required education requirements outlined in the rule. The training requirements are measured as of the first anniversary date of the trustee's election or appointment, or the 2-year anniversary of his or her previous training as applicable. There are 10 training areas for our board with respect to continuing education that's required. One is the introduction to the education code itself, Texas Education Code, the laws there. The second is our local district orientation, the policies and things that affect our district for here in Pasadena. The third is open government. Also has to be trained. That's things like the Texas Public Information Act, the Texas Open Meetings Act that govern our board meeting tonight, et cetera. The fourth, the board members are also required to have training in the area of child abuse prevention. Encompasses everything from sexual abuse to human trafficking to treatment or maltreatment of children. The fifth area, and you've heard presentations before this board on multiple occasions, but they are required to have training with respect to cybersecurity. In addition, we have 5 more. Here we go. The next one is evaluating and improving student outcomes. That's a mandated training requirement for our board members, as well as every 2 years, a post-legislative update with respect to how the education code is changed by legislative action. So that's required as well every 2 years after our legislature meets. Sometimes they meet more often than once, as you've probably heard, but definitely every spring, every 2 years. The next item that's required for our board training to have continuing education on is school safety. You've heard lots of presentations about school and safety before this board, but they actually have to have individualized training in that regard. Next is team building. There's a requirement that the board, in consultation with the superintendent, often referred to as Team of 8 training, gather to train among themselves to be a better team to serve our district going forward. And finally, there are sometimes some additional continuing education in different spot areas that are required by a particular bill or things of that nature. But Mr. Vice President, that concludes the required review of the State Board of Education rules and the areas that our board members are required to have training in. And if you would please proceed with announcing that training. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Vice President, I hereby announce the completion of continuing education credits received by the Pasadena Independent School District Board of Trustees for the period covered by this announcement, May 1st, 2023 through April 23rd, 2024. The following information will be reflected in the minutes of this meeting. Introduction to the Texas Education Code. No new board members were required to complete Introduction to the Texas Education Code training for the period covered by this announcement. Local district orientation. No new board members were required to complete local district orientation training for the period covered by this announcement. Open government. No new board members were required to complete open government training for the period covered by this announcement. Child abuse prevention, sexual abuse, human trafficking, and other maltreatment of children. The following board members have completed the biennial training on child abuse prevention, sexual abuse, human trafficking, and other maltreatment of children for the period covered by this announcement. Krista Davila, Kenny Fernandez, Paola Gonzalez, Marshall Kendrick, Vicki Morgan, Casey Phelan, and Nelda Sullivan. Cybersecurity. Foreign board members have completed the annual training on cybersecurity for the period covered by this announcement. Crystal Davila, Kenny Fernandez, Paola Gonzalez, Marshall Kendrick, Vicki Morgan, Casey Phelan, and Nelda Sullivan. Evaluating and improving student outcomes. The following board members have completed the biennial training on evaluating and improving student outcomes for the period covered by the announcement. Crystal Davila, Kenny Fernandez, Paola Gonzalez, Marshall Kendrick, Vicki Morgan, Casey Phelan, and Nelda Sullivan. Post-legislative update to the Texas Education Code. The following board members have completed training on post-legislative update to the Texas Education Code for the period covered by this announcement. Crystal Davila, Kenny Fernandez, Paola Gonzalez, Marshall Kendrick, Vicki Morgan, Casey Phelan, and Nelda Sullivan. School safety. The following board members have completed the biennial training on school safety for the period covered by this announcement. Crystal Davila, Kenny Fernandez, Paola Gonzalez, Marshall Kendrick, Vicki Morgan, Casey Phelan, and Nelda Sullivan. Team building. The following board members have completed the annual team building training for the period covered by this announcement. Kristen Davila, Kenny Fernandez, Paola Gonzalez, Marshall Kendrick, Vicki Morgan, Casey Phelan, and Nelda Sullivan. Additional continuing education. The following board members have completed annual additional continuing education requirements for the period covered by this announcement. Crystal Davila, Kenny Ferguson, Paola Gonzalez, Marshall Kendrick, Vicki Morgan, Casey Phelan, and Nelda Sullivan. The following board members have exceeded annual additional continuing education requirements. Crystal Davila, Kenny Fernandez, Paola Gonzalez, Vicki Morgan, Casey Phelan, and Nelda Sullivan. There are no training deficiencies for the period covered by this announcement.
Remember, they don't get paid. They did all that.
Okay, we set the next suggested meeting date, Tuesday, May 28th, 2024.
So move.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mrs. Sullivan. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. I adjourn this meeting.